Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really far less the race thing. That's why I didn't even bring it up because I don't even care about that. If she were black or whatever, my position would be the same. This is about doing goofy shit and getting in this position to where you can have stuff like this happen to you. That's my big thing. You should know better. Hey, you want to fuck around with a 19-year-old? Cool. Drop her a couple of bands and then send her home.
Yeah,
You
but
were getting in a full out relationship.
okay.
That's my issue.
Okay, got it. So you're saying that even if this still would have came out and she would have made whatever unfounded or whatever accusations, had he treated it more like a transactional situation, you would have been more okay with that scenario. Your issue is that he had, I guess, developed feelings or tried to have a relationship with her. That's where you draw the line. I just want to make sure that I understand.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're interpreting me correct because we
okay.
established she's a professional. I mean, and I think Tia, you brought up earlier. Oh, she's young, she's a teen, and she, kind of framing her as a victim. She's running a $5 million OnlyFans empire. She's a mogul by any stretch.
A
Well, hold
mogul
on,
because she
because
has
I
5
don't know that
million?
she introduced. Hold on. I don't think we introduced that part. I think that might have been in pre-pro. Maybe I'm off, but maybe I'm off. But you're bringing
I
introduce
mean, but
because
she's a professional. She's
but
she's doing her thing.
thank you for that, right? Because I was going to ask the other question because you didn't mention age, right? So there was age mentioned, and I guess the next question for me was going to be, does the fact that she have an OnlyFans, I didn't know it grossed $5 million, does that make you look at her differently? Because Tia said, well, if you had a daughter, right? Not knowing that Shannon has talked about how he lets his daughters move around or whatever, so we then project our values onto other people, but whatever. So Delvin, as a guy, right? I'm asking you, right? Do you look at her the same as you would an average 19-year-old based off of the information
No,
that you
the
know?
same way I don't look at an average 19-year-old the same as a 19-year-old stripper. I just you don't. They're not. I mean, I'm not knocking. I'm not even making a moral judgment. I'm just saying I don't. If you go to the strip club, you meet a 19-year-old stripper, then you decide, hey, I want to have a relationship with her and take her to the cookout. Then you setting yourself up for some. You're a goofy.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
him Shannon Sharpe being worth what he's worth isn't gonna ungoofy him.
Yeah. Now, okay. So I want to go back to the ladies with this, right? Because I want to stay at the 19-year-old part because Devin made it clear, and I agree with him 100% in terms of it's not the same thing. So, ladies, does that matter to you all? The fact that whether she was a OnlyFans with the $5 million empire, or let's say if she was a stripper, does that change anything as it relates to her being a 19-year-old for y'all?
Not for me.
So I'll go ahead and pop
Go
off.
ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, 19 is still 19. I understand that you're saying that she's a professional and whatnot, but technically they already shown studies that, first of all, we don't even fully develop until I forgot which part of it, until like 28, but that's for men and women, right? And so I would just say this. I understand that she has an OnlyFans, which means she was a business, which is why I'm going back to pay for play. It's still gross, whether she's 19 with an OnlyFans or 19 at strip club, 19 at a regular McDonald's job. It don't matter. It's still gross to me. And so I think that the OnlyFans thing may add validity to the fact that he got to pay now, but he knew he was paying in the first place. So I'm just saying that he knew she was OnlyFans. She doing pay for play, and now he's paying just not what he wanted to pay. Still think it's gross. 19, yuck.
Mm-hmm.
This is great.
I'm
I'm
not.
glad you said that.
Go ahead, Devin.
So if the frontal cortex isn't developed and they're still forming and it didn't happen until they're 28 or whatever, okay, then fine. Then 19-year-olds shouldn't be allowed to vote. I agree.
That's
Or go to
literally the
war.
reason why they're not allowed to
Or
They're
go to
drink.
not allowed to drink.
That's literally the
They're
reason
not
why
allowed
they're
to
not
drink
allowed to
for that.
drink.
Thank you.
So
But they're allowed to
But they
give their
can
lives
vote,
for the
which is
military. What
how
the fuck
many
are y'all
times
talking about?
you're
Fuck
but
y'all
talking
they
about
drinking.
in
can vote.
America where
That's
those
y'all
more
standards
drinking?
are based
damaging to
on
the
economy progress. America,
In other places, they're even
19-year-old
younger.
voting.
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
People drink earlier in other places.
Yeah,
People
but
do a
they're
lot of
not
shit earlier in
legally
other
allowed.
places.
They're
What the
not
fuck are we talking
legally
about?
allowed to
Yeah,
drink
like, you
until
ever
they're
been to Germany?
21.
I mean, it's
They
crazy.
can't go to the store in the US and purchase alcoholic beverages. They have to go get somebody who's hanging on the
They can
corner
still
or a
go get a
bum
gun.
and say,
Then they
"Can you
can
go
kill
get this?"
people for the government. So fuck your
But
Yes.
drinks.
that's
Who cares if
the
they can't get
So
liquor? Who cares?
can I
And they
That
can
was
vote, which is
because
more
liquor
damaging.
who
impairs
cares?
their
But go ahead,
judgment more.
Tia.
so
Like we get off
I
topic,
don't
right?
mind
There's a
that
lot
she's
to
an
hear. Go ahead.
Go
OnlyFans
ahead.
worker at all. I am perfectly okay with that. I think sex work is great if that's what you choose to do. But let's not act like there's not 8-year-olds on TikTok making the exact same money from doing dancing videos. So what she's doing is not business making. What she's doing is live streaming. And whatever she chooses to do to get her money, I'm in support of that. So let's not make it seem like because she makes or amasses this
Not
amount
you.
of money
Wow.
that she is some kind of business Fortune 500 mogul that has such an intellect that she's capable of keeping up with the 55-year-old man who has several decades of life experience in excess of hers.
Clearly, he doesn't.
Clearly
Not you
that
having a break.
Negro doesn't. And let me finish.
Not you having a.
Let me finish.
Go
Hold
ahead. Go
on.
ahead.
Because the
Go
frontal
ahead.
cortex is not fully formed until the age of 26. And the reason why that matters is because what it controls is decision making. You don't really have
Got him voting.
regulated systems to make effective decision making until your brain is fully formed. And so if you don't have that capacity, which is why they have this whole pedophilia thing, right? Because children can't consent. Your brain is not formed. She's 19, yes. In America, 18 is of age. Yes, it's not the same age everywhere in the world. Cool beans, whatever the case may be. But as it relates to the moral ineptitude of what has happened, that's what matters most for me. Like, it's just morally, why would you? The age, okay, cool. The race, I don't care because people do, right? But it's just, why would you? She's 19. She's a kid.
So this is the thing, like fuck my feelings. I don't give a fuck about my feelings about this. My morality is not at play here. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know, this is an opportunity for us to virtue signal about what we stand for, right? And that's part of what we're supposed to do. And I guess for me, I'm virtue signaling that I don't give a fuck about other people's moralities because they're not my own, right? So for example, if this case came up and I was asked to be a juror, last episode we talked about the scenario. And for me, I think maybe part of where I am at is wanting to look at this fairly. Like, so for example, bringing it back to the case, this brother is on, got a chick asking for $50 million, right? So let's talk a little bit more about that. Because honestly, like, whatever we feel about things, that's not your life. That's not your experience. And then on top of that, like, low key, we act like we all super fucking moral. Like, that's the reason why I'm going to use I statements, why I choose not to judge certain things, because I am not perfect. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, people have their own things and I get it. But when it comes to the law, right? If you didn't break a law, and I guess she has to prove whatever civil case that she has.